Hopefully now it's going to be working again, and I will have to retweet and everything else. It's never happened before with this software anyway. Right, let's see if it's going to be working this time. Nope. What is going on? What is going on YouTube land? Something's wrong. Oh, we seem to be working now. Right, cut that off. Right, hopefully that's us now. Right, is everybody hearing me loud and clear? Because, right, fantastic. Hello, Ali. Ali? Yo. Right, brilliant. Ah, hi, Tez. Fantastic. Right, we're through. Right, what I'm going to do, I don't know what happened the last time I went on. It doesn't seem to be showing up. So I'm glad that you're all viewing now. That's it. I can see figures now coming in. So that's excellent. I'm just going to share this on social networks. We are now live. Boom, 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 boom. Tweet. And I'll delete the other tweet. Delete that tweet. And pin to profile. Yes. Fantastic. Right, brilliant. Thank goodness. Right, I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to share it once more, and then I'm going to put it onto Facebook, and then we are good to go. And we can talk. Can show that, I think. Right. I'm just going to make sure I can get this on Facebook. Sorry, I get distracted reading one of my comments there. Excellent. People are starting to come in now. Fantastic. Glad you could make it. Just going to make sure I put this onto Facebook now. And let's see. We are now. That's a great photograph. What the hell? See if you go into my Facebook page. This is the thumbnail. Right, brilliant. I'm glad everybody can join me. Fantastic. Right, we're all here from the chat. That's brilliant. People are starting to come in. Excellent. Right. Right, just I'm going to give another few minutes for people to arrive before we kind of start this in earnest. But why don't you all introduce yourself from and say where you're from? It's always the kind of thing that you do. And in the meantime, I'll basically just say that we are going to be doing a live stream today, and it's all going to be around VPNs. And I just want it to be a very much open discussion, whether VPNs are relevant, whether they're what speeds you're getting, is the bubble burst for VPNs, are you tired of hearing about VPNs, do you use a VPN, blah, 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 that kind of idea. And I want it to be an open, frank discussion, and hopefully this will be, I want to kind of have a live stream Thursday. It will not be every Thursday because of work commitments from myself, but it should be every other Thursday or 2 out of 3 Thursdays and whatever. Probably around about this time of night, time of night for me, or maybe thereabouts. So that's the kind of idea. So let's have a look at the comments, and it's just a lot of people saying hello. That's fantastic. Yeah, Kevin, White Circle of Death. Yes, that's what I was getting as well. Exactly what I was getting. So I'm glad you can arrive. And I think Wayne, you were the first to arrive. So hello, Wayne, on the previous stream. That's my camera. Sorry. I'll just wake it up again. There we go. That's us fine. So yeah, so I'm glad you could all sorry, I'm getting mixed up. YouTube's down. What's this one here? What does that mean? YouTube is down for small YouTube channels. The bandwidth is for big channels only. I don't know. It might be the case. Who knows? But certainly that was the first time that kind of happened for me since I've been using this Ecamm Live, which I've been using. It's the first time that I've experienced that. So a few people have arrived in here. There's 25 of us now, so I think that's pretty good so far. So what we are going to be discussing is, right, VPN. So I'm just going to put in the first question right now. So simple enough. Do you use a VPN right now? Not necessarily right now, but do you generally use a VPN? Is this a daily thing? So basically when you go online, you use a VPN, or will you only do it when you are wanting to hide exactly what you're doing? Or example, will you be using it all the time? Because I know some people use it all the time because they're worried about their privacy. So that's the kind of discussion I want to kind of start now. So basically, if you want to put in the comments, 1 for yes, I use a VPN all the time. 2, only when I want to hide what I'm looking for, i.e. streaming. Or 3, I use it all the time. Does that make sense? So go for it. 1, if you use it all the time. 2, only when you're doing streaming. And 3, I never use it. That'll do. Do you like that's my water bottle tonight? So I'm going to keep it going. So, 1 from Scott, 1 from Tom. So basically you're using it all the time. So, Wayne, when you mean that don't need one, you got real debrid, is that just when you are using APKs or Kodi or anything like that? Is that what you mean? Yeah, there's quite a kind of mixed board here. Lots of 3s. A lot of people are saying they haven't. That's Clifford. Hi Cliff, by the way. How you doing, mate? So Cliff is saying basically haven't since you got real debrid. Which is very interesting. Because if you don't know what real debrid is, or you wonder why you wouldn't be using a VPN if you've got real debrid, is because you're not actually connecting. Even though you're using one of those streams, you're not actually connecting. All your ISP would know is that you're connecting to real debrid. That's what I'm trying to say. They don't know what you're doing. It's not like they would be able to look at it and search down the code and go, you're streaming this kind of film illegally. They just think, you're onto real debrid. So that's what Cliff is meaning. Yeah. Oh, hello, Mr. On Demand. I haven't seen you. Are you still on YouTube On Demand? I think, is this the Mr. On Demand? Did you lose your YouTube channel? Is that the same one? If I remember rightly. I used to watch On Demand quite a while. Quite a lot. So anyway, it says, iTech here, you really don't need one unless downloading. So that's interesting. So Dazzle is saying he uses his VPN with real debrid, so it's basically a double protection then. So here's Okay, here's a very good question here from Forgotten Sons. Really interested in your opinion here. In the USA, do you need a VPN when using IPTVs and streaming movies? So do you need a VPN when you're using IPTVs and streaming movies? It's a very interesting question. I don't live in the US, so I wouldn't be able to comment on that. I've heard mixed results. I've also heard that it depends on where you are and your local laws, I guess. But I don't think I've ever heard of anybody getting convicted of streaming or downloading the way that we were actually talking about, to be honest. But I have heard of people getting warned from their ISPs to basically not do what you're doing, sort of thing. All right. Let's see. A lot of people are saying that it is affecting them because it is buffering. And that's a fair point. I'm actually going to be doing a video on buffering.
I'm not sure.
And there we go. I should be turning off. Oh well, she's turned off now. I've just unplugged her. Sorry for touching the mic there. A lot of people are saying that it's causing buffering. And I will be doing a video. I think it might even be a couple of videos because it's running a bit long on, especially around tips and around about Wi-Fi, because that's the main problem that I would see when it comes to you be able to affect your buffering, at least from your side. Obviously, if you connect into a server that's overloaded, you're going to buffer regardless. But yes, that'll kind of give you an idea, tips and tricks in getting the best out of your Wi-Fi. Let's see. In the United States, you're better off. In the United States, you're better off not using a VPN. It will slow down your speed no matter what. Well, that kind of brings on to my next question here. Here we go. Here, let's get this one on. Let's get this one off, and get that off too, and put this on here. What speeds are you getting when you're using a VPN now? In comparative terms, and I'm just going to do a live broadcast actually of my internet speed. I've got my Fire Stick 4K in the background here, and it is on Wi-Fi. It's not hardwired or anything like that. So I'm going to give you a live demonstration of exactly what speed I'm getting. Then I'm going to turn on my VPN, and we'll see what speed I'm getting. So what we'll do is we'll go into internet. Bit of a spoiler there. Right, I don't know if you can see that in the background, but my full speed is around about 400. Okay, so at the moment through Wi-Fi, I'm getting 320. It's very, very close to the router. So, wow, it's spiked. Don't know how reliable that is, but we're kind of roughly going round about the 3. Right, so there you go. That's my live speed right now, 320. And what I'll do is I'm going to turn on IP Vanish, because that's the one I've got. I've also got Cyber Ghost as well, but we'll go with IP Vanish first. Now, before, when I was doing this, maybe about a year ago, what I'll do is I'll just connect it to the best server that I've got, which is London. What speed I'm now getting. And I'll be doing that again, I think. Yeah, that's probably typical of I would be getting, I mean, there you go, that's 27. Earlier on I was getting 80. I tried this before off air before I did it. I am streaming right enough, but still, as you can see, I was getting 320 before. So there you go, that's the speed I'm getting. I've gone from 300 and it's now gone down to 50 or 60, which is still fine for, you know, for 4K content. But I connect to the London servers because I've tried to connect to, although I live up in Scotland, there is servers in Glasgow, which is the closest ones to me, but I connect to the London servers because they are actually the fastest, or at least always have been. I have actually tried, I've tried everything, I've tried all the settings in that, and I'm still getting through, still getting the same sort of speed. Don't get me wrong, that is absolutely fine for streaming 4K content, that speed. It's absolutely fine. So it still does its purpose. If you're into your numbers, you probably will be a wee bit, you'd probably be a bit miffed if you had that on all the time. You're paying for 400 and you're only getting 60. So that's the idea. That's IP vanish. So what we'll do is we will now try CyberGhost, which was, the last time I checked, marginally faster than IP vanish. At least in the last video I did. So I need to turn this off first. Alright, I'll turn that off. And then what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to force close it just to make sure that it's definitely off. And then I will try and, let's see, did I get past it? No, it's here. And force stop, right. So now I'll just go into Cyberflex and turn that on. Right, Cyberflex is basically just set to best location. And it just gives you countries. So I'm just going to turn that on and we will see exactly what speeds we're getting through Cyberflex. And they're the kind of two that I have been using. I find them quite reliable. Cyberflex is a bit more, it's easier, it's more user friendly. But look at that, it's not even connecting. Are we going to connect? I don't even think it's connecting. Oh, geez. Right, we'll first stop it, and then we'll try it again. Right. Well, we'll give that a go. Right, we're connected into London. Right, we're connected. Okay. Let's see what speed we're getting off of. See if we can beat 64. I'll give it a few goes. And there you go. What does that tell you? It's not even letting me do a speed test. I have had that before, even though it is connected. It's a bit weird, but I think it's obviously conflicting with that. You know, that reminds me. I tried that on a browser and did the exact same thing. And I had to do the speed test through an app. Inconclusive. Right, so let's have a look at some of these comments that I see. Basically, people are saying they're using it for geo-blocking. Yeah, here's an interesting from Tez. I said I couldn't find any connections a few weeks ago until the VPN was on. It looks like the ISP was blocking it. So you're talking about IPTV there? Yeah, I think you're talking about IPTV. Yeah, I've had that as well. I definitely have that as well. Although on occasion the VPN has slowed my connection down so much that I I've had to turn it off. And that's just the reality of it right now. So I don't know if maybe the ISPs are kind of, they're realizing that people are turning into VPNs more and more. Yeah, maybe my background apps are. There we go. I don't know if you're talking to me or not, but maybe that's the reason. Maybe my background apps are were interfering with it. Who knows? Right. Tom is asking, how did you check my speed? I just did it through the internet, just the Amazon Silk. That's all I did it through Amazon Silk, and it works just as well in just fast.com. That's it. So Amazon Silk in any browser, basically, in fast.com, because I know the apps don't work too well on it. And the app I am referring to is the speed test apps. So yeah, they don't work too well when we're talking about that. So I was going to ask this question here as well. Do you think the VPN bubble has burst? Do you think we're all basically tired of VPNs? Is it still relevant to everybody? I think, judging by the comments, that most people are still using them, and they are relevant. Well, not most. A lot of people were saying they use Rail to Brid, so that kind of answers that kind of question. Another question I had up my sleeve was, I was going to ask you guys as well, are VPNs as good as they used to be? And I don't think they are. I honestly don't. Whether they're getting blocked, I don't know, by ISPs, is what you're talking about, but I just don't think they're as good as they are. They still are good enough, and I still do use them, but I just don't think they are getting the speeds that they used to, for whatever reason, in the UK anyway. So that's a question I was wanting to put out to the rest of the world, sort of thing. If you've been using your VPN for more than a year or so, have you done any speed checks lately to find out whether your speed is as fast as it was, a year or so ago? Because I certainly think they don't. I don't think they're as fast, anywhere near as fast as what they used to be. Nowhere near. I used to get almost zero latency, and only not so long ago, and I've tried it quite a few times now, over different times of the day. I mean, this is 10 o'clock at night, 10:30. I wouldn't exactly say it's peak time, and you can see by my download speed earlier on, I'm pretty much getting full speed. But nowadays, VPNs, I think they certainly seem to be onto it. This is an interesting opinion here by Dazzle. IPVanish has really gone downhill, and he's ditched them. Has anyone else said the same? Has anyone else ditched IPVanish? Because, well, I've noticed, obviously, I've noticed if you want to look at my link down at the bottom here, my Stu's Tech Time IPVanish link, then I've noticed that not a lot of people are buying it. Well, absolutely not a lot at all. So I'm loving the chat, actually. It's good to see that you're all talking amongst yourselves, and this is exactly what I was wanting. I certainly want to kind of gather momentum with this going forward. And it's not just about, obviously, this is just the first one I kind of thought, what's the one that would get people kind of talking is VPNs. I definitely want to do more live streams and around about this genre. IPTV, there's another one that I really want to do. Exactly what is, if people are using it, don't talk about it right now. We'll keep it to VPNs right now, but going forward, that sort of idea and streaming and everything else. But definitely I'd like to do more live stream Thursdays, because I enjoy doing it and I like to interact with you guys. So, right. Mr. On Demand says the two I like is PIA and Nord. Nord being a little better. That's controversial. That actually, I think about Nord. Does anybody still use Nord? Obviously, you've got your contract, I can understand. Or if anybody's using Nord, are they going to be using renewing their contract? Thank you. That's what I'm trying to say. Tech Doctor's in the house. How you doing, Tech Doc? So this is the latest. So is anybody going to renew their Nord contract if they are actually contracted to Nord after obviously the latest scandal, whether it was a scandal or not? But I think they did it. They didn't actually admit to, getting hacked or whatever. So, anybody using Nord? I keep forgetting there's a 20-second delay. I love this. My Wayne's juice. Tech Doctor's in the house. Glad to see Tech Doctor's still in the house. And he's got his logo and everything. How cool is that? There you go. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm proud of it. Yeah, I'm glad to see Tech Doctor's in the house. Thank the Lord he's come back. After what he went through. Nobody deserves that, but we're back. Docker is still using IPVanish. And let's see. Peter Carcioni did a video last year about changing settings for IPVanish to get faster speeds. Now, I've tried that. That's exactly what I've tried. I've messed with all the settings through the both on a browser and on the Fire Stick as well, and I got marginally better results. I changed the port number. I changed the other settings, and you get a little bit more on the browser. And I found that I get marginally better results, but they were still inconsistent. So I didn't. I certainly have tried that. I think I did a video very similar to what Peter did as well. Peter's very good, actually. So, yeah, I tried that, and it hasn't seemed to have had the same effect as it might have done last, a year or so or whatever ago. Tom is saying that he's always had IPVanish, and he's had no issues on his part. And that's a really good point. It's a case of, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I completely agree with that. VPN scandal. Yeah, where you live, that's another good point as well. Mr. On Demand saying where you live and what server you use does make a huge big difference. Or so they say, because I don't live too close to a server, although I'm probably only about 30 miles away from a server, but the servers are no way as fast as the servers down in London. So I still connect to London, which is 300 miles away or something, and I get faster results than if I connect to a server 30 miles away, or even in Dublin, which is probably closer. Manchester, which is closer, and I still don't get any better results. So yeah, definitely, I think in the States you've definitely got an advantage over people that live in Europe, I think. So there we go. Have I got any more? Okay, this is another question that I thought I'd ask, right? Might have already asked this, or no? Is that the one? I don't think. Yeah, why do you use a VPN? I think we've already answered that. And I think it's general. Does anybody just use a VPN just for security? Does anybody use a VPN just because they're worried about, as I say, literally how the advert goes, people spying on you? You're worried about big corporations. You're worried, about getting your user data or anything like that. Is that why you use a VPN, or is it simply just because you don't want a letter from your ISP? So a lot of the chat is basically saying that IP Vanish has had their own logging scandal, and many of them have. And do you log activity? So does Real Debrid. I totally believe that as well. I think everybody definitely. And the thing is, your ISP does not see it. Well, that's good. That's that. I would love to actually be able to speak to somebody from an internet service provider and exactly what they know or what they see, and it's not just from what you read and what you hear, actually from the horse's mouth sort of thing, and actually see it in real life. I'd love to actually know exactly. Or do they? I mean, I'm basically of the opinion that they could know as much as they want. As far as I'm concerned, as long as I don't lose, I don't get shut down or anything like that. I still need my internet. But as far as I'm concerned, they can know as much as they want because I'm not that interesting. In other words, most people are not that interesting. So yes, they can know about it, but it's like your neighbours knowing your gossip, and then you move away. It's not really that. It's not really that important. That's just my personal. I might be naive in thinking that, but that's what I definitely think. I just think that they can know quite a lot about us, and there's not much that we can do to stop it going forward. We can fight it. We can slow it down. We're not quite there where it's like with China, but who knows? Who knows what can happen in the future? But in other words, I'm not really that interesting to them because anything that I do, even if it is illegal, there's so many people that are doing it the same thing that it's so widespread that I'm not interested. I'm not as interesting to them. Let's see. Also, let's see what's this here saying. Also, if you know what the origin of the server where the stream is coming from and connect near that origin, that will help get rid of a lot of slowing down issues. Interesting. So if you know the origin of the server, that would be that would be handy. And then, yeah, obviously then it's a closer connection. That's an interesting point of view. That's very interesting. Henry is asking, here we are here. Henry's asking just for banking online. Now, I used to think the same thing, especially if I was using public, not that I ever use public Wi-Fi, but on if you're not in your own home. And the not knowing as much about it as I'm sure a lot of other people are the same, on YouTube, another YouTuber, our camera does that every so often. It times out. I can't stop it. And he's a very knowledgeable person, does a lot of research, and basically he says because of your HTTPS in front of your web page, whatever, so much encryption goes into that they can't really, hack onto you or copy you. Plus, it's the added security that banks have got nowadays that basically everything is so encrypted that using a VPN really isn't necessary. And he even said on public Wi-Fi as well. Yeah, I know. So I was surprised at that as well. So, but he's a very, very knowledgeable person, and his YouTube name as totally went over my head. He's a British guy. I used to know him. He used to be on TV actually in the UK. So, all right. I think Mark is basically saying that the problem is when they use that info for their own gain. Yes. I mean, I hear a lot about that as well. They kind of use it, and as long as it's, as I said, if you're talking about like actual cyber criminals that are going to try and use some of your information, I absolutely agree with that, because it's little bits of jigsaw, and they can add it together and make a, and obviously use identity fraud, and that is a completely legitimate point of view, to be honest. So yeah, I think you can make up your own mind about that, I think. But again, the chances of getting caught out, that's what I'm trying to say. But then again, it does happen all the time. It does happen all the time. So I'm just trying to see. Yeah, Doc is basically saying, as I say, Stu, Big Brother's watching you. I'm sure they'll find a way around things if they want. And it is true. It is true. I try not to think too much about it, but I still like the idea of actually having a VPN. I like the idea of actually having that added security if I need it. I say I've got them in my phones. Does any of you have work mobiles? I know a lot of people now definitely have work mobiles. My work mobile is constantly on a VPN, and I think obviously VPNs are definitely more. It's definitely businesses that use VPNs more and more than your average user. Well, traditionally anyway. So, and I know my work, for example, is always on a VPN. Always on a VPN. It doesn't stop me doing anything, but it's always connected. It's always connected to a VPN, and I can't do anything about that. Train can burst. I can't do anything about that because it's kind of inbred into my phone, sort of thing, bricked onto it. So, all right. Let's see. Use a VPN to watch IPTV. That's a common opinion. I also use a VPN to watch IPTV. About 7 months ago, I decided to stop using a VPN. When watching IPTV, however, my server started to buffer like crazy and only went back to normal when I put the VPN on. I've had the similar opinion to that, and I've also had the opposite. I have. I've had exactly the same as that, and I've also had the opposite. So, right here, this is more personal to me. You're being throttled, I think, by your ISP, because I'm on Virgin Media, and I've never known to be throttled. So, can you give a little bit more information about what you mean by that? Is this just because you were having problems with your IPTV? And that might be the reason. That is an absolute, that could definitely have been happening to me as well. But I haven't had any issues with it of late. But it definitely was maybe a month or so ago. Right, see, this is what I was talking about earlier on. Don't forget, you never know what prying eyes can do to you if you're in a public Wi-Fi, and VPN is the only solution to mask your connection. Well, that's exactly what I thought, and this new information that I got from, and I'll see if I can find the video actually. See if you go into YouTube and put in VPN, you'll find the video. Adam Scott's his name. I just remembered now, and he is very, very knowledgeable. But it's not only knowledgeable, and now it's not there. It's Adam Scott, definitely about VPN, and he does a lot of research. It's a very big YouTube channel. He's got quite a big, I think he's got quite a knowledgeable research team as well. And as I said, if he gets something wrong, he always puts a retraction in. He's that serious about getting things right. He doesn't just delete the video, he'll do a retraction. He'll explain anything that he's got wrong. And he basically was saying, don't need it, even in public Wi-Fi. I don't know if I'd want to take that risk, to be honest. That's the thing. I don't think I would take the risk. That's why I'm quite happy that I've got a VPN and I don't have to do that. I don't have a problem though. I just use, if I'm ever going to use banking online, I'm not in the house, I just use regular 4G, 3G, and obviously that's encrypted anyway. So I never, to be honest, I never use public Wi-Fi, ever. Right, so let's see, right, yeah. It says some ISPs do dirty stuff like throttle connections to certain sites. I definitely believe that is definitely true. Paul Gale is asking, do Virgin throttle your speed? Not to my knowledge, no. I've certainly not noticed anything. Not anything typical for me anyway, because obviously sometimes, websites just don't work. And you think it's your internet speed, but it really isn't. This type of thing is what net neutrality is all about. ISPs could tell you how much speed they will give to any given site using IP bandwidth. Yes, IP bandwidth controls. So this type of thing is what net neutrality is all about. ISPs can tell you how much speed they will give to any given site using IP bandwidth controls. Now, this is something that is absolutely 100% worrying, to be honest with you, because net neutrality is basically, my recollection is that if the simplest of terms, if you are using, say you're using Apple broadband and you wanted to watch Amazon TV, well, Apple would say, nope, if you watch Apple TV, then we will give you a full service, but if you watch Amazon, we're going to give you a tenth of your service or whatever, unless Amazon pay them lots of money to get them up. Is that that's my recollection, if I remember, when I was watching a lot of videos on net neutrality, which is bloody worrying, to be honest with you. So does anybody get any more information about net neutrality? I'm quite enjoying this conversation actually, from On Demand and Optimum. Optimum is basically saying the only time I use public Wi-Fi is when I'm near the airport because the mobile data usually congested. To be honest with you, I get that at peak times as well. If you're at the train station even, and you're on a train or whatever, and you're in a built-up area, that yes, your 3G, your 4G, heaven forbid 5G, goes to shit, But I mean 4G. I remember they're talking about 5G, and I've heard all these speeds about 1 terabytes and things. 1 gigabyte download speeds. And I remember when 4G first came out, and they were saying this, they weren't saying the same thing, but they were saying, 200, 100, and all this kind of thing. And I know you can achieve that, but in general, it has got a lot better. Don't get me wrong, but it's still not as fast as what they originally said it was going to be. And it's always the same, that when a new thing comes out and then more and more people use it, it just gets slower as well. So don't get me wrong. 1 gigabyte download. If you can get the 300 or something just in the train, wow, that'd be amazing. So yeah, a lot of people are saying they don't use public Wi-Fi. I agree with that. I don't like using public Wi-Fi myself. So definitely would agree with that there. So I've enjoyed the chat. Do you know, there, I was going to ask that question actually. You beat me to it. There you go. Last question I think of tonight actually. Do you really need to pay for a VPN? Are free VPNs any good? And I'm asking the question to everybody on the chat. Do free VPNs, are they ever any good? And if they are they worth the possible price, if you know what I mean? I think you have summed that up quite well, Kevin. No such thing as a free lunch. I think that sums it up. In my opinion, I think there's no such thing as a free lunch. I think you're absolutely right. There's something in there. They've got to make their buck. Paul, you've asked what's my opinion on streaming. That's another video. That's another live stream. Don't worry, that's coming. Another live stream. Another live stream's coming on streaming. Definitely. People are saying the free VPN really are slow servers. So there you go. Optima is basically saying you don't have to pay for a VPN if you don't care about your personal data. I think there's a tongue in cheek there. So yeah, I think definitely, I think that sums that up as well. I think it's just, I think if I could sum up VPNs, whether you use them or not, is very much personal choice and personal opinion and how much you value your privacy, I think. And obviously there's an element of, sometimes things don't work unless you all of a sudden switch on a VPN. I still like using torrents, for example, and they do not work. A lot of the time I can't connect to the websites until I turn on my VPN. As simple as that. And as much as I would like to get, download a movie over, a 300, 400 megabit download, yeah, I have to settle for, the 80 or whatever, if not less than that now. And I did used to get that. I used to be able to download an HD movie, 6 gig file or something like that. I used to come down, I don't know, 5 minutes or something. Didn't take long at all, but now it takes a wee bit longer. Obviously, there's not as much people seeding as there was before, but there you go. Again, there's another question for another day. I think it's like free IPTV versus paid IPTV. You get what you pay for. Again, that is touching on another live stream that I want to have, and I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right. I think it's very much like that. The thing is, you don't have to pay a lot, and you really don't. There are always deals going around. You just got to watch you've got to. I think you've got to be careful which company you buy into, because what they're offering now, they're not offering, the odd month free, or they're wanting you to sign up for 2 years, 3 years, that sort of idea. I mean, IPVanish right now are doing an 8-year sale or something. Works out at $3.99 a month. Considering if you pay per month, it's like $10 a month, and it's now $3.99 a month. It works out. I think it's a 2-year contract, and it's for new customers only. So a way around that, you would just basically give a different name and an email address, and you'd be a new customer. So to answer that question, that's me answering that question there. Is there a good, reasonably priced, good VPN? At the moment, IPVanish, whether your opinion, whether it's a good or not VPN, is a reputable one. It's certainly well advertised, let's face it. Everybody's got affiliate links on it, and it's $3.99 at the moment. I think to the end of February, $3.99, but I think you have to sign up for 2 years, I think, or a year, something like that. But that's the. And if you're wanting it, this you could use this there. If you're wanting IPVanish, if you want that great deal. There you go. You didn't think I'd go through a whole live stream without mentioning my affiliate link now? Come on. You know what I mean? You didn't think I'd go 53 minutes without mentioning my affiliate link? You've got to put it in there, and there you go. Bold as brash as bold or whatever it was. There you go. So if anybody's just tuning in, they're thinking, oh my God, this is just a blatant advert. But no, that is, use that link if you want. I appreciate it. You don't have to. It doesn't cost you any more. You can use other people's affiliate. Other affiliate links are available, but that's my one there. It is case sensitive at the moment, that one. So it's on every video I've got as well. My affiliate link. I'll just shove it down there. I'll put it up there. That's better. Yes, other affiliate links are available. But at the moment, $3.99. So yeah, I couldn't help it. I had to do it. There's lots of chat going on here. This is really good. Chat here. So I want to kind of catch up with it. A lot of it's going bad. I'm loving the chat. I really am loving the chat. I'm really good that this is the whole point of this live stream. Is to get involved, and that's exactly what I wanted. Lots of comments, lots of people going, and I wanted to make sure that everybody was free to comment, and that's why I've been showing comments on the stream. Because I wanted to make sure that everybody's opinion was relevant, and that and we all can have our say. So I think so. Yeah, it's been a good wee chat. I'm glad. There you go. Ted's basically saying to sum up the chat. I'm sure it's the chat, not me. Great, because he's a newbie and he's learning basically, and that's what these live streams are all about. It's all about just discussing exactly discussing everybody's opinions, everybody's point of view, because all you hear, I don't want to be just what you hear is what YouTubers are saying. I'd rather hear what everyone opinion is, because everybody's opinion is relevant. And there's so many VPNs out there. I get contacted all the time about doing VPN videos, and I just feel as if people are tired of listening or talking about VPNs. And most people that are watching my videos I've probably got a VPN already. And if they, and let's face it, if they haven't got one, they've probably got an IP vanish one, because it's advertising every single video pretty much that every streamer gets, every YouTube streamer puts out. It's IP vanish. If they're doing anything remotely around streaming, it's IP vanish. So yeah, I see there's a few. It's nice to see. There you go. Hi Ian. You're welcome. You're very, very welcome. I'm glad you could be here. I can see there's a few people in the comments section that aren't just your regular Joes, that have got a bit of knowledge there, which is excellent. It's great to see. It's great to see. I'm not completely familiar with the Skulls playlist, but I'd imagine, judging by what he's talking about, that yeah, I know what he's associated with, so that's great. I'm glad to see that still going. I certainly still use it, so I'm quite happy. I'm happy with that. Great. So I've really enjoyed the chat, and I want to do, I think, do you want to have a quick vote in what you want the next live stream to be about? I'll put two up there. We will do, let's see, what could we do? Let's say streaming APKs, hit 1, or IPTV, hit 2. The next live stream. So streaming APKs, or the other well known streaming, or the other one would be IPTV. So a 2 for IPTV, 1 for streaming APKs or streaming stuff. We'll probably do both anyway. But yeah, the thing is, I could actually get people on that could talk about lots of ones coming through now. I could get people on that could talk about IPTV, that's for sure. But who would want to? Who'd want to, wear a mask, I guess. So yeah. Hey, Optimums, I'm absolutely glad. I'm really happy that you could join. Thank you very much. You really have been very active in the chat, and I'm really happy for that. So you have a good night. Thanks for tuning in. So by the looks of things, it's lots of ones. So it's streaming APKs. So I need to read up my streaming APKs. I'll do that for the next one. But yeah, I think we'll do both anyway. But I think we'll do that for the next. Let's see, the next live stream. I hit the mic. He didn't hit the mic. As I check my old style diary, would be. We could probably do next Thursday. Actually, we could probably do next Thursday. For streaming APKs, I think, for next Thursday. Although it'll probably be a little bit earlier. Probably be around about 9 o'clock. So, yeah. Probably. I'm not going to totally commit to that, but I'll definitely let you know if that was going to be the case. But yeah, next Thursday, I think we'll probably do some sort of live stream. And it might just be a little bit earlier. So, right, that's an hour. I think that's a really good chat. I just want to thank everybody that's tuned in, and I've noticed that it's around about 25, 26 people that have tuned in, and they've all roughly stuck around. So I'm really pleased that that's the case. You've obviously enjoyed the chat. We'll try and make it as interesting next next time, and it will be around streaming APKs. So tune in for that. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. It's been a pleasure. Really have. Really enjoyed it. Thanks. Stay frosty. Bye-bye, everybody. Night-night.